I'm getting sick and tired of this. They release the new patch notes, and what does the community do? They just complain, and complain. There are negative content creators and just a bunch of negative people always picking out what Blizzard does. And in reality, this patch isn't that bad. Let's take a look at it and you'll see for yourself. Hey you, right there. I know you're probably not subscribed. 99% of the people watching my videos aren't subscribed. So just scroll down and hit the button. The hero changes. For Junkerqueen, now her passive, the wound damage, when an enemy dies with wound damage, that healing that would happen if the wound damage remained will just be added on to Junkerqueen's health. So for example, they changed her dagger to include the 30 wound damage. If a target gets eliminated by the dagger throw, that 30 damage will automatically be added on to Junkerqueen with 30 HP. Her Carnage ability, the hammer, the cooldown has been reduced by 2 seconds for each enemy it impacts, which is a really good change because in bunched up team fights, you're able to reduce it a lot. You're able to heal more and stay in the fight more, and overall it's going to help her tempo, help her be more of an assertive tank and actually be able to control how the fight goes and the speed at which it's conducted. Now the Jagged Blade, this isn't necessarily a buff or a nerf. It's a slight change, maybe even a slight nerf, but the impact damage, so the damage that instantly hits the enemy when you hit this dagger, has been changed from 80 damage to 50, but now there's an additional 30 wound damage to the struck target. So it's the same damage, only 30 of that damage will be damage over time, and that will give you some more healing, but also gives the enemy healers a chance to heal their own team. Zarya's energy depletion has been reduced from 2.2 energy depleted per second to 2 energy depleted per second. That's not necessarily that big of a change because over 10 seconds you're looking at 22 versus 20 energy, but still, if you're able to keep maybe 1 or 2 more energy for the fight, you'll be able to do a little bit more damage. In a sense, doesn't really change much and you probably won't feel it whatsoever, but what you will feel is the fact that it now takes 2 seconds for that energy to start disappearing versus the 1 second that it was before. So Zarya is able to keep her energy up more for longer fights. If there's maybe a little gap in the fighting, you won't necessarily lose as much energy as usual. Now in terms of supports, they did say that there was going to be a support rework, but for right now, there's nothing really going on. The first support that they're buffing is Brigette. They're increasing the health on her shield from 250 to 300. In terms of Brigette, not going to help her. She's still probably going to be the most bottom tier healer. Now for Moira, her biotic orb, dealing damage with that biotic orb when you throw the purple orb, now restores a small amount of the biotic energy, which is the energy used to heal. In terms of Moira, I don't see this really changing anything because her skill ceiling is already kind of low in terms of what things you can do with her abilities. So from long range, if you want to heal someone, you can toss this, get some of that energy back and heal your team for the next fight, but it's not going to change much. Moira is going to stay basically in the same exact position as she was. If we scroll down to bug fixes where it's talking about specific things, Mercy, her guardian angel, will now not let her escape Ramacha's ravenous vortex, which was a very large problem because you could just use the guardian angel and escape, an ability that is supposed to make you not fly. Also, Tracer's pulse bomb wouldn't damage Tracer if it was stuck on an enemy, so they're changing that. So now Tracers have to be more careful. And 2 things that they didn't add on here but I think are important to mention is the fact that Hanzo now doesn't have the recoil effect that he once did at the beginning of season 2, I believe, or Overwatch 2 rather, its release. Many players have noted that Hanzo's just didn't feel the same, didn't feel good. I'm one of those players included. I remember being on call with one of my friends saying, oh, I used to play Hanzo all the time, but now it just feels like so sluggish for some reason, and that's why I started playing Widow more. But now with that, he's back to old Hanzo. And the other change that I want to mention is Kiriko's Swift Step, where she's able to teleport to an ally. Now that no longer removes debuffs. So in the past, it used to be if she was anti-heal grenaded by Ana or affected by, say for example, Junkerqueen's wounds, when she teleported away, she would no longer be receiving that. So now when she does that, it will not get rid of that effect, which I think is actually a pretty decent stealth nerf to Kiriko because a lot of players won't recognize that right away. But one thing that I do want to mention is the fact that so many people were saying, oh, where are the Hog changes? Where are the Orisa nerfs or something like that along those lines? What they have said and made clear as day is the fact that Hog will be getting changes mid to late January. What is today's date? Tell me. It's January 5th. Is that mid-January? Is that late January? No, it's none of the above. So why are you expecting the changes right away? I get it. Roadhog is busted. Orisa is busted. But you shouldn't just expect everything right off the bat when they just got off their Christmas break. They need probably a new visual effects. They probably need new art for that. The same thing they're saying for Brigitte's ultimate. They need new VFX, new visual effects for it, new art for it, because there is a change coming for them, but it's going to take long. They have a team and they need to work on it. It's not just going to be done instantly. They have a set amount of people and a set amount of time and a set amount of budget. In terms of the free-for-all game mode, I don't really see much fun to it. I mean, it's fun, but it feels like everyone's just going to play either Roadhog, Reinhardt, or Junkerqueen. Ramattra's alright, but if you get hooked by Roadhog, it's basically over anyways. Lucio is just kind of there. No one's going to play Widow and no one's going to play Pharah, so it's basically just a 4-person tank deathmatch with the cool skins, and then they're adding Capture the Flag. That's basically the whole entire update for you. Let me know what you think. I'll try to answer all the comments. As always, GG easy.